Well, hello there. It's Desert Charley here, and I'm going to do a little quick tutorial video. So I just opened a new uh, Aurora Falls where it asks you to select the engines. So everybody has seen this before. I'm just going to select Betsy because we all love Betsy. So boom, there's Betsy. Boom. All right, there we are. All right, the purpose of this video. Oh, wait, first thing, first thing I need to do is when I start a new game is adjust the time. So if you go into gameplay options, go to custom weather. If you change this number from 7.5 to 750, that means the time is 1 to 1. So if you set it, let's see, at 10 o'clock, okay, we'll just set this here to about 10 o'clock there, 10:07. It'll be 10:07 on the time, and it'll stay in that real-time mode. So if you play till nighttime, it'll be nighttime. So the same with the night too. You could also set that 750 and 750, and that works. But anyway, the purpose of this video is I keep seeing a lot of people start off the game from here, and this spawn location has some little quirks to it. It's not that flat here. If you take a piece of track and from here, let's see, let's just go with a standard piece of track. Uh, and this is the hand lane. I'm going to talk about this, about, the freestyle mode, or you can use the curve mode. So if we use, or precise, I guess they call it now. But if you see, it comes out, it's nice and level here for a while, but then it gets a little wonky as you come up to this initial hill. Boom. And there it disappears into the hill. Okay, so that's okay. That's what railroads do, right? But there's where it gets a little funny is how people try to lay uh, switches on hills. So if let's start from up here. We go a little faster here. All right, let's go way up because I know there's a good cliff over here. Yep, this cliff right here. Okay, this will work perfectly. So if we take a number one piece of track, and when I say number one, I'm saying this is number one, number two, number three. See, one, two, three. So if we take a number one, when possible, you want to use number one because it's a smaller load on your CPU processor than using a number three. Why is that? Well, let's see. We're gonna go straight out here, and then you see this underneath that fill? That fill is much less of a load. Unfortunately, I can't drop that there. Oh, I can kind of drop it here. Nope, 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 nope. No, it won't work. Um, but if I take a number two, you'll see that the number two goes all the way down to the ground, but it has a little bit of a problem too. See it, the track is red. So now that extra polygons, that's going to require a little bit more computer processing power. So if you keep using level 2 and 3 track all the time, and you have a complicated railroad, that's going to produce even more. Now, this is number three, and you can go on forever with number three. See there, that one's done. But the number three, that goes way under the ground. And even though you can't see it underground, the way it is here, see this piece of track, this goes under the ground. The computer still has to process that. So that's the first lesson. First lesson is use number twos or use number one as much as you can. And sometimes I use the number one And when I see it turn red, I'll stop there. And that's when I use a number 2. Okay, add the number 2. And when it turns red, then I'll use a number 3. So that's kind of a trick to save computer resources. And that, like I said, it when you start making bigger layouts, that'll improve on your drag at the same time. All right, we're going to use this hill for more tutorials. Ha ha ha. All right, so I recently watched a YouTuber, and he was having issues on a grade. We're just going to start here on a grade and use the freeform mode here. And you can see it's an 11% grade. And we'll just drop this piece of track on this 11% grade. Okay, yikers. Okay, now here's where it gets a little tricky. Uh, when you lay down a switch, notice because I had a grade here, this piece here, it didn't go flat. It actually is on a grade. That's a new feature, folks. This is all brand new. Woohoo! So this is cool. How that works. So let's see. Let's demolish that. Demolish that. So yeah, it's that's a whole new feature that you can use a switch on a grade. So right here, we'll put it right here on the grade. Now, how you do that and why you do that might be silly, but look at there. Now see here, it goes into the hill. Well, let's see. Can I see? It might work. But there's ways to control that too. If you absolutely had to put a switch there, another way to do that is simply say, okay, well, let's put our piece of track again. So here comes our track. And oh, I need a switch here. Okay, so one of the ways of doing it is just approximately put the switch in front. Oh, don't make sure the link isn't there. Just put it on the ground, like right there. Boink. Okay. Once that's done, check that out. The switch is laying there right where it's supposed to be on an angle. Look at that. Look at that. That is cool. And then what you could do is, well, you could, if you hook this back up to here, okay, you get a little wonky like that. What you would simply do is just go back far enough and delete your track from there and lay a new piece of track. Ta-da! See, oh, look up. That's a thing of beauty. Look at that. Nice and cool. So not only does that work on, look at that, a switch on a grade. Thing of beauty. It also works the same way on crossings. And one of the weird things, though, about this is as soon as you put a piece of track lengthwise like that, uh, it kind of see the tilt to it. So you might have some issues with that. See, because you will have issues with that because that will not work. Okay, so there's some issues there because the tracks always have to be level. So understand that is an issue, but if you need to, tweak it sometimes, you can do that. All right, let's see what else. Another way of doing this on the flat is if you do this manually, I'm going to do with the number 2 in this case, because what I'm going to do is go to precise mode. Okay. And in the precise mode, we're going to go up. So we're going to be really weird. We're going to go to 10. And notice I put a short piece of 10, and now I put a longer piece of 10, and now I put a switch. Okay, in the old days, this wouldn't work. Oh, look at that. It's a thing of beauty. See, it works that way now. So now, this is called a vertical curve in railroad terminology. Of course, you know what a curve is. A curve goes left and right, but a vertical curve goes up and down. Now, notice when I put a piece of flat track, then I put a short piece, and then I put a straight piece. Because here's a cool thing about the track lane system. Let's do it again. Let's uh let's use the number 2 track again, and we're gonna, oh, you know what? Watch this. I'm gonna use the new parallel. Select that piece of track. Look at that. It just clones it over. All right, so that gives me a perfect starting piece. And I could do it again with this piece, but I'm not. Because what I'm going to do now is hit this one. Instead of a short piece, remember I made it like, what, 11, 10%? See, that was a short piece. That made it like that. Now, instead of a short piece, I'm going to make that really long. Oh, look what's happening. Wait, what's going on here? Okay, that is a 10% grade, but because I stretched out the vertical curve. And so now if I go here, now my 10% is going, my 10% is, oops, I have to also put this at 10%, of course. My 10% is going up, up, up until it runs out of real estate there. So see the difference by using that short piece? Just by using that short piece, and that works for going downhill too. So let's do that. Let's come off of this piece. I'm just going to put a I do this sometimes. I'll put like a weird piece of track as a marker. So we'll just put that as a marker there. All right, so we want to come down here. Okay, now we have a problem. We have to go down this grade. So if we want to go down this grade, we have our level piece of track here. Go back to number 2 so we can do this. And we'll click here. I'm going to go down 10%, which is too steep. But see, look at the vertical curve. See it? That's a short 10% or a long 10%. If I make it a long 10%, that's what happens. But if I make it a short 10%, it doesn't even have to be a 10%. But see now, when time you get to the end of the track here, it's a 10% down. See, there it is. Look at that. All right. Vertical curves, baby. That's what vertical curves are. So use a short piece of a vertical curve on a grade. So that shows a downward vertical curve, and this shows an upward vertical curve. And again, on this one, oh, watch. All right, we'll do this again now too. Watch, because this should work perfectly. Line that up. Yep. I love this new tool. It is really cool. Good quality of life. In the hands of a master, it's a lot of fun. All right, so now we'll make the same vertical curve down like this, and we'll make that the 10%, same as the other one. And so see the difference? Look at that. See, that's the difference. So the difference is a short vertical curve and then your downgrade. But if you just make it one long vertical curve, it'll take you forever to get to your downgrade point right there. Oh gosh, what else can I show you? I think that's pretty much about it. For lane uh on grids. I guess I can do maybe a whole new segment I'll, I'll probably make another video about doing freehand track and how to make this work. So to keep this from being so long, I think that kind of gives you some ideas on how you can use your own tracks in Railroads Online. I absolutely love this game because I love building railroads, and and I love it more than running the trains. So, so I also have some other YouTube videos on my channel. Check out the big yard tutorial. I really like that one about the big yards. And I think I have another tutorial up there. I'm just getting started at this. So, hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe. And I really appreciate any feedback or comments. All right. Thanks a lot for joining me in Railroads Online.